When you're partnering with Frito-Lay on a commercial like this, how much is the commercial sort of figured out by their internal agency? How much when you get hired can you talk about that collaboration?
Generally the way it works is the agency / client have an idea. They give us, me and my team, that idea, and we sort of run with it and try and be additive, to it. Be able to take it from the page, obviously, to something that's filmed and edited and mixed and designed, and in doing so that we hopefully make it better. In the case when it works well, which I think this commercial did work very well, it's usually the result of what starts as just very good creative on the part of the agency and the client. In this case, we had really good initial creative. The idea of Marshawn Lynch reading Twas the night before Christmas and having a bunch of really famous football players in their pajamas, too hocked up to sleep, like little kids, the night before kickoff was a really good idea. And so for me, it was a question of making the football players feel comfortable, getting them to improvise a little bit. You can see Marshawn and Gronkowski improv a bit, Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott improv a bit, making them feel comfortable. But for me, when the creative is as good as this was, our jobs are easier. We can just make sure it looks really good. We can make sure the actors and the talent is fully engaged and is having a good time. But we can really just service really good creative.
I saw Marshawn doing Westworld, and so he was obviously on last season, has a lot of experience in front of the camera right now. Did you notice that sort of experience when you were filming with him, that he was a lot more comfortable in front of the camera?
Yeah, I think so. The first time I worked with Marshawn was last Super Bowl spot, the NFL 100 spot that I did, where he just sort of grabbed cake and this tackle football game broke out at a awards banquet. And he was nervous. It just seemed as though he hadn't done too much filming. And then the Marshawn that showed up to shoot Frito-Lay was much more confident, much more playful, and just seemed more comfortable in front of the camera.
I really enjoyed that you got Katie Sowers, the 49ers assistant coach, to be in the spot. I think her being part of the NFL is great. Was that your decision? And can you sort of talk about how she got involved?
I think that I was part of a group of people that suggested it when we were kicking names around, and I think I suggested it. She was already on the radar of everyone, but I weighed in. I had worked with Katie before, and I know her. And for obvious reasons, it was great to have her in the spot. It's remarkable what she's doing in San Francisco. She's really a trailblazer. She's doing incredible things for not only women who are interested in getting involved in the NFL, but just she's a great coach and she's a great ambassador for the NFL.
When you are filming, obviously everything is different now in the era of COVID when you're being on set. Can you sort of talk about what it was like filming with these athletes and sort of working in this COVID environment?
We were definitely prepared for COVID in terms of our protocols, our safety protocols that included everything from multiple testings, which we all had, to temperature checks, to kind of safety compliance people who made sure that the masks were on, that only certain people were allowed into certain areas, that even fewer people were allowed anywhere near the NFL players. Obviously, nobody wants to get anybody sick, but certainly getting Tom Brady compromised would not be an ideal situation. So we worked. Our behind the scenes people, Helga, who's on this with us now, who's the producer of it, made sure we had a great safety protocol in place. And once that was in place, it was pretty much business as usual. We were able to shoot the way we normally do. Nobody got sick. Nobody got a temperature. We were able to move around the country. We shot in Oakland, Dallas, and Tampa. And so we were able to move groups of people and move equipment around. And it went off very well.
When you are working with, say, let's talk about Tom Brady for a second. You're shooting with him. Is that a few hours shoot? Is it a 2-hour shoot? Is it an all-day shoot? What is it really like?
It's like probably an hour. Tom was an hour at the most, probably a little bit less. We shot him very quickly. I found that like generally athletes don't like to spend hours on film sets waiting. So, we plan our shots out very carefully, and we plan our days out very carefully when we're dealing with guys like Tom Brady or any of these guys. They're in the middle of preseason. They're focused on football, as they should be. And it's a COVID environment. They don't want to spend unnecessary time there. So we were very organized and got all of the athletes in and out in very quick time. Nobody was on the set for much more than an hour and a half, I would say.
I was also going to realize, so have you already hooked yourself up for like VIP seats for whatever stadiums are allowing fans?
I guess. I don't know where, hopefully I'm a New York Giants fan, so hopefully the Giants will let some fans in, and I don't need VIP seats. I'll sit anywhere. I just would love to be at a football game.
Listen, the season's about to start. What are your thoughts for this upcoming season in terms of who's going to win what?
Well, the Giants are going to win the Super Bowl, obviously. They'll probably go undefeated, and they're going to beat all the other teams by a lot.
Right. I will tell you, as a Patriots fan, your team has been the thorn in my side.
I'm aware of that. I've been to both of those Super Bowls.
Were you?
Yes.
Those Super Bowls broke my heart, especially the undefeated season.
That was a rough one.
Yeah, it really broke my heart.
Can you imagine if Belichick goes undefeated this year?
I think that they've lost a number of players due to opting out for the season. And yeah. I don't necessarily know. Listen, I am very curious what's going to happen this season with the Patriots, just as a fan, because I think both Belichick and Brady want to demonstrate that they are great without the other person.
For sure. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, 100%. Getting into the athletes that were in the commercial, was there someone that you wanted that for whatever reason couldn't do it?
No, we got everyone that we wanted. Everyone that we asked said yes.
That's awesome.
And I think that was a testament to the creative. They read it, they thought it was fun, they got it. Everybody wanted to do it.
Of course, I have to ask you. You had a huge hit with Spenser Confidential on Netflix. I know that they released the numbers, and it was a huge hit. I know that you and Mark had talked about making more of Spenser Confidential movies,
yes.
Depending on how it went. So have you guys talked about that?
Yeah, for sure. We're deep into the script. Brian Huglin, who wrote the first script, just turned in a first draft last week. So we're definitely going to do Spenser Confidential too. We're just trying to figure out the dates.
Got it. Do you have a story already that you're pulling from, or?
We do. Yes.
Okay. I won't ask you anymore. Look, you and Mark obviously are best friends.
We are.
Listen, I'm sure you text all the time, really close friends. You guys have an amazing track record. Are you also talking about other projects, or do you think that Spenser Confidential 2 is the next thing?
For Mark and I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in Germany now making a film. I'm going to do something else before Spenser Confidential 2, but we're definitely going to do that. And, I'm sure Mark and I will be 85, 90 years old one day making movies together. We love working together. So
do you think that next year you're definitely going to be filming it?
Not Spenser Confidential. I think I'll probably be either very end of 2021 or beginning of 2022.
Got it. I am very curious. I'm very excited you're doing something with Painkiller,
yes.
Which I think is a very important subject matter to be tackled by, I need it more in the limelight. So can you talk about what it is about that book that pulled you in, and what's going on with that project?
Yeah, I mean, the opioid epidemic has touched me personally through friends that I have battled opioid addiction. Um, the realities of how the drug came to be as successful as it was in terms of the amount of money it made to some individuals, I think is worthy of a deep dive. And I really can't say too much about it right now. But for anyone that is paying attention, we have a huge opioid problem in our country, and Painkiller is an opportunity to take a real deep dive into that issue.
Another thing that you're doing, which I think is I'm so curious about, is your Victoria's Secret, the rise and fall of Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
Is that something that's still on the radar?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah. An amazing company, a complicated tale. It's a company that experienced a tremendous rise and has now experienced, a fairly significant fall for many reasons. And tracking the rise and fall of that company, I think it's a really good story.
Is that one of those like limited series kind of things, like 6 or 8 episodes?
Yes, limited series.
Where can I ask where you are in the development?
The director's a guy named Matt Tiernauer, and Matt is in the middle of sort of putting it all together. We will take it to market probably the end of September, at the end of this month.
Got it. I know that you were attached to doing, or maybe you are doing, a Rihanna documentary and a Chris Cornell documentary.
Yeah.
Can you talk about both of those projects, where they're at, and what was it about the material?
So
Obviously,
the Rihanna doc, something I've been working on with her for almost 4 years now. It's coming out. Amazon's going to release it mid-quarter, summer next year, sometime hopefully around the 4th of July. And it's been a really epic journey, spending the past 4 years with her and going from, so much has happened to our country, to our society since we started this. So it's something that's still ongoing. We're still shooting it now. She's a remarkable woman who every day seems to grow and branch out and to new businesses and new endeavors at a rate that's almost hard to keep up with. So every time we think we're going to finish the movie and put it out, she does something like start a fashion line, like Fenty, or her lingerie line, or her skincare line. She's firing on all cylinders, and she's making new music now, and she's having so much success in business, and she's such an entrepreneur that we're letting it grow. But we are going to try and close it up in the spring and release it in the summer.
got it. And what about the Chris Cornell thing?
That's being kind of put together now. Yeah. So Chris Cornell is a doc that we're putting together now.
Got it.
I don't have a timeline on that yet.
Got it. This is my last question for you. I've spoken to you a few times, and every time I speak to you, I bring up the exact same thing, and it's going to continue today.
When are we doing a Friday Night Lights movie?
No, I wasn't going to ask that. But we could do that. I was just going to say, what do I need to do to get a Rundown sequel?
Man, you've got to schedule it for 2030 because Dwayne Johnson's so busy.
Right.
We almost did it, and we made the mistake of setting the script in Alaska, and Dwayne Johnson's character was going to go to Alaska, and nobody thought that maybe Dwayne Johnson, a Hawaiian boy, doesn't want to be going up to Alaska and filming in the tundra. So we got to rethink the script.
Right. Whatever we need to do to get that thing made is.
I appreciate it.